Oil trading is closed on October 22nd, 2020. I have some personal business tonight, so I'm going to do this review a little bit early. Let's do our disclaimer first. This is my plan for tomorrow, the 23rd of October. If we gap sharply in the undesired direction, the call's killed. I can't guarantee the call is going to be right at your own risk. Here's my email. Last call, so we look for the pattern with the early high. This is it. Has a tendency to be a rally day with a high in the final hour, and that's it. Tomorrow's pattern, the one with the early low, doesn't mean you won't gap up. We had some targets. I thought they might fail, but actually they worked. Here's the 34.58.56 target resistance there. We beat the 34.60.50 target by 3 cents. Resistance there. When you reverse that strongly from a target that close to it, typically it leads to a sizable move down. We do have a new target for tomorrow, 34.42.97, and unless we gap up, that's favored to print. And I can't say gapping up's impossible. But this is pretty positive action here, as we'll see in just a minute. Here's what we had. MEJT says this is a false move. Calls for this retracement. Here's what we said yesterday. Unless we gap down smartly, the higher MEJT target prints. That happened. I'm getting ready to change the count here to make this an ABC. We'll go over the reasons. Here we have what's called a 2B bottom. Here was the previous low with a 61.8% retracement, as you can see. We undercut that low, and then we closed over the prior lows. If that's maintained, that's a very bullish pattern. I know ending diagonal triangles aren't normally seen in C waves, but according to Frost and Prechter, it can happen even though it's unusual. And this is a rejection of the break to new low. It's a pretty clear rejection of the break to new lows. Just has to be maintained. You need confirmation by continuing higher. If this is the right count, this low should hold. You've got great fibs going into it. Just use the alternate count. You'll see how beautiful everything works out. An ABC, C equals A right at the low, an impulsive move out of it. If we're going to have a bottom, this is what it should look like. It's all dependent upon that low holding. Well, tomorrow's pattern has early low, doesn't mean you won't gap up. We have a lower target from MEJT. Unless we gap up smartly, it's favored to print. We normally get more from the ultimate buy signal than we did today, so a recovery over today's high is ideal but not required. Volatility indices have reversed from trading over the upper Bollinger Bands and now trade under them. That is a buy signal. Today it will mark the low of the correction which started last month. A number of big names threw in the towel on the rally today, and that vitiates the overly bullish sentiment readings I was concerned about. The wave count's compatible with that, and the most bullish period of the year begins next week. Doesn't have to begin to the day on the dot. The call isn't a lock, so if you want to risk money on it, use a stop, and the ideal stop is under today's low. If I'm correct about this, and I might not be, but if I'm correct, unless we gap over this high, we should see this price tomorrow. That's 34.42.97. Ideally, there's support under that price. I'm looking for support under that price to hold, for today's low to hold, and for us to make a convincing move over today's high. It hasn't happened yet, But if it happens, I think the odds are quite strong the low of this move is in and the strong move higher is beginning. And that is today's call.